This is the S&P 500 one-day reading for October 2nd, 2023. It's currently September 6th, 2023, 9:08 p.m. Eastern Time. And the shuffle file for the second was created on June 28th, 2023. That's this file right here. So the overall theme and behavior for the S&P on the second is a notable move higher. We should see the establishment of support followed by a big move higher standing out on a one-day chart at least, and then some more sideways rotation establishing support at a higher price level. That's the overall trend. So we should see that within here. Sometimes there's, the next day's trend kind of catches on the edge of a theme card. So for the most part, what we should see is sideways, up, sideways. And then it looks like we probably have a little bit of like a dip here at the end of the day. Behavior around the highest high. We have a nullified Dominion card. So the Minion card is usually bullish price swings. In the high position, it could indicate in a lot of cases seeing the high more than once in the midst of price swings, usually twice. But it's nullified, so it's kind of, by nullified, it doesn't have any correlations to any of the cards on the timeline here. So it's hard, it becomes more difficult to time the high when you have a nullified high card. But my sense is that the high is probably here. It's either here between 1 and 2 o'clock or towards the close. I think probably 1 to 2 o'clock, somewhere in there. Behavior in the pre-market, we have sideways rotation. There's a notable move right at the open to the upside. That's where we have a strong correlation in the orange to the wealth card. So you can see it starts with sideways rotation, and then there's a big move higher, and then we come into a trough. I wouldn't say this is necessarily a low. This is more like a trough here, an important trough, and there's a fast sudden move out of it into a failed attempt to break through key resistance between roughly 11 and 12, followed by a decline through key support within the same hour. We likely have a low there. I actually think the low is first thing in the morning. And so then out of the decline that we have between roughly 11 and 12, there's a big move to the upside standing out on a one-day chart from the bottom of a range all the way to the top of the range. And that move higher carries into the 1 to 2 o'clock hour, where we should see more move to the upside based on the correlation to the wealth card. This is also where you want to exit a long position. If you entered into a long position first thing at the open, you'd want to exit the long position here. So failed attempt to break through key resistance around roughly 11 to 12 o'clock, followed by a decline through key support within the same hour, or declining into the 12 to 1 o'clock hour possibly. And then out of that 12 to 1 o'clock hour decline, there's a big move from the bottom of a range to the top of a range. So you want to take that move when we meet the top of a range somewhere between 1 and 2 o'clock. I take that move as the opportunity to exit the long position for a day trade. You could also open up a short position here. My sense is that you would open up a short position for a multi-day trade. You could also, it's probably risky, but you could do a short position day trade. And when we move from this rally higher to a high into a notable decline through multiple support levels on a one-day scale, that would be your opportunity to exit for a day trade. Or you could possibly hold it into the following day, but the following day is a little tricky. We have a cross-reading congruency here, which is a strong indication. When I did the 1 month, I got correlations between the high card and the Ace of Wands on the second, indicating a highest high probability here, very strong high probability of a highest high. And then when you take that in, on the 1 day, you also see cross-reading congruency. See that what I mean by that is that this Magus card on the 1 year in the October cluster represents the high for October. We see it on the same day that we also have an indication on the 1 month of the highest high. So that's a strong indicator. It gives you more of an indication. This is also a very similar energy to the Ace of Wands. So we decline, and then there's a little bit of a rally along a diagonal trend line into the close. Matter of fact, it may be a little bit more than a rally, a little bit of a rally. It looks like a rally that increases with the momentum moving forward in time. We may see a high for the day there. It's either here between 1 and 2, or it's here at the close. But that rally increasing with momentum, it will end with a fast sudden move higher, and then a decline through that diagonal trend line that it was rallying along, with increasing volatility and momentum to the downside as we move forward into the post-market. As far as the overall volume, it looks like it's mixed. We have pretty bullish volume early in the day, pretty bearish volume later in the day, and then the sneak preview card or the relativity card is the Ace of Swords. There's no Ace of Swords in the following day, but the correlations here midday and at the beginning of the day. Actually, it's multiple times. So this is gonna look. This looks like a mixed day there. We may revisit the high based on the fact that we have the cross-reading congruency again here with the highest high, or I'd say correlation. No, it's a congruency, cross-reading congruency at the high indicator for the day. And we'll get into that in more detail in the next reading. So that's the S&P 500 for October 2nd, 2023, my friends. Don't forget to follow that rule of karma. It's super important. You do so here on the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, where our angel investors of the channel are all donating 5% of the profits that they make from the information on this channel forward through one of these charity links. And then 5% of the profits back to the channel through one of these links to continue, keep the channel going. We do need your support continued, and that'll leave you with 90% of the money. Make sure to spend that money out of love. As long as you follow those rules, you're following the rule of karma. That makes you an angel investor of the channel, and the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold through this channel. I'll see you guys on the next one.